Well, good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. I hope your Saturday is off to a great, albeit a little wet start this morning, at least here in the mid-Michigan area. Points north also. We heard a couple rumbles of thunder off to the north of us earlier this morning. A little bit of lightning, but yeah, the northern lower seems to be taking the brunt of it. And as I look out the window now, it wasn't raining when I got here a few minutes ago, but it is now here at the store. So it could be kind of a touch and go one for the day here at Radio Waste in Mid-Michigan. You know it. So today might be a great day to get out and go through some crates, digging for some vintage vinyl, new stuff, you name it. Well, as of the broadcast this morning, we are Saturday the 29th of March, live for now. Unless you're watching later, then get up earlier next time. We are officially 2 weeks away from Record Store Day 2025. So, yep, 2 weeks from today, we'll have been opened for about an hour and 45 minutes or so, and hopefully everybody would be getting what they got as far as the Record Store Day stuff goes. We'll get to that, a little bit of update as far as where we stand on the RSD stuff and posters. We're going to talk posters here in just a couple of minutes as well. But first, how about we say some good mornings this morning? See who's up and at them out there, up and at them as we get going. Jennifer saying good morning. A little bit of rain. Yeah, it's almost April, so I guess we can start considering that. At least it's not snow, right? Well, we'll go from there. Fred from Grand Rapids checking in. Good morning to you, sir, as well. And TC from TKR and Metro Boston. Hopefully all is well for you guys out east, sir. Pat from the Upper East Side. A little damp there as well. My glasses, I got to look at those a little carefully. It said damned Upper East Side, but damp. Sorry, Pat. Yeah, I'm getting there. Gary and the crew from Doogie's saying good morning. Mike as well. Nice day to watch. Thank you. Much appreciated. Nice day to put the show out for you guys as well. Chuck saying good morning. And Paul, good morning. And the coffee's going down well. Good to hear, sir, that the coffee is always a welcome sight when you go in there. Well, I think I teased this the other day, that on our Facebook page, at least, saying that the posters, our Record Store Day 2025 posters are, well, the posters physically aren't done. The poster conceptually, digitally is done. And I'm ready to show that off to you folks this morning. And we would hopefully have the physical ones in the store. Hopefully by next week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, we'll get them in here. So figured I'd show that off to you guys. I know a lot of folks dig them, and it's always appreciative that you guys like them. Before we get to that, though, that's the tease. I did get the Record Store Day swag pack in the mail yesterday. The shipment got here for that. And I thought, what the heck, let's show off some of the goodies. We'll show these off again in the live stream we do the night before Record Store Day. But one of the other posters that I think a lot of folks really dig and they look into is the annual RSD Dogfish Head beer poster. The Dogfish Head is the official beer of Record Store Day and in Record Store Day 2025. They always do a trippy one, and this year is no exception. It always has kind of a Grateful Dead feel, in my opinion. So here is this year's Dogfish Head RSD 2025 poster. We've got a limited number of these in store. These will be given out with Record Store Day purchases on the morning of Record Store Day. We'll put this up on our Record Store Day wall stuff as well. We've got all the other posters from the past several years. But yeah, it's kind of a cool one. And I have to count. We don't have a ton of these. They never do send a ton. That makes them somewhat collectible. But we do have a decent number of the Dogfish Head ones. These will be going out first thing till they run out while supplies last at 8 a.m. on the 12th of April with Record Store Day 2025. So there's the Dogfish Head one. That one's cool out of the way. Then a surprise included in the RSD swag this year was a second poster. Did not expect this one. I know a few of you out there are going to think that this is really darn cool as well. There is a Record Store Day release that is forthcoming. In fact, we did get, I think, one or two of them so far. from Vince Guaraldi and Peanuts, the Charlie Brown stuff. It is a 10-inch, and it's excerpts from the newly released, as in, last week, but I don't have any. We'll get to that in a minute. But the newly released Vince Guaraldi, the Easter Charlie Brown, something Easter Charlie Brown. So what they did is this is kind of a cool one, folks. You ready? It is a Charlie Brown, Charles Schultz, actually Linus and Snoopy for Record Store Day 2025, April 12th, 2025. So a second RSD poster. We will also have a limited number of these to give out on Record Store Day, the morning thereof as well. Really cool. A little turntable down there that they're jamming to. So very cool, and a nice little surprise from the folks at Record Store Day that we've now got 2 different posters we can give away on the day of. So you'll probably get your choice of the Dogfish Head and or the Linus and Snoopy the Peanuts Record Store Day poster as well. So hopefully you guys dig that. Side note really quick as well, the swag pack, and we'll cover these a lot more. We did get the Record Store Day ambassador pin. This year's ambassador is Post Malone. See if I can show that off without reflecting. And I know there's a few of you out there that collect the Record Store Day pins from the ambassadors every year, so we do have that. And then they threw in some extra pins that just say Record Store Day. Should make all of our employees wear these as their flair. We've got how many pieces of flair we're putting on for Record Store Day? 22 pieces of flair is the bare minimum, Abby. We'll go with that. All right. Now onward. Here we go. Let's see this. Our poster. Let me do a couple of things here behind the scenes. And I guess I could do a drum roll, but it would go right through the microphone. So we'll just do the imaginary drum roll up here. Here it is, folks, your Radio Wasteland Records 2025. I'm chuckling because I don't know where I went with this one. Yeah, this is a fun one. It's minimalistic. It is straight. It's to the point. It's a little dark and I think a lot weird. I must have been in a mood. So here it is, your Record Store Day 2025 poster from Radio Wasteland Records. There we go. Record Store Day 2025, Saturday, April 12th, 8 a.m. Doors open up here at Radio Wasteland Records. We'll have Record Store Day exclusives, vintage vinyl, and we'll talk about that as we get closer. And giveaways. Working on some cool giveaways as well. There may or may not be a turntable involved in this one, folks. We'll see where that goes. But I'm working on that behind the scenes. So there we go. The physical copies of this, I'll put this up on our socials here shortly later on this morning. But the physical copies of this, for those of you that wish them, we will hopefully have a limited number as well to give away on the morning of Record Store Day. We'll put them up here at the store. It'll be up in a few select locations and local businesses. The cool local businesses all want this to hang up. We'll make sure that those folks get that as well. But as always, I do appreciate your guys' support on this, and I'm glad you like the picture, the posters that we put up as well. So there it is, Record Store Day 2025. Our poster, the RSD posters, all of that is coming up 2 weeks from today, April 12th, 2025. Stay tuned. So, yeah, as mentioned, let's see here. Whoops, I am just kicking all the wrong buttons this morning. That's how it's working. As mentioned, we did start getting a shipment. I got one shipment in of Record Store Day stuff yesterday and got that cataloged in. Not much, maybe like 30 pieces, and I've got more on the way. So we'll start talking about that a little bit more next week. I think the next one I'll find them with the tracking, but yeah, they're going to start showing up hot and heavy here, and we'll get things rolling along. But yeah, the RSD is in full swing. We will get them. Let you guys know. But don't forget, if you are still new to this, the night before Record Store Day, so Friday night at 6 p.m. when the store closes, we'll do a live stream here on YouTube. We'll put the links back to X and probably Instagram and Facebook as well. We'll do a live stream and cover all of the releases that we'll have in the day of. So make sure you're staying tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment. It does help our channel a ton, by the way. All right, back to the YouTube comments really quickly. Let's see who else is out there. Let's see. TKR saw that online. Oh, the Peanuts theme. Yep, the poster there. Jim, good morning as well, loves that Peanuts poster. Rick's saying a very dystopian. I think I was in kind of a X-Files-ish mood right there. The spins are out there. Steve, our good buddy Steve Carlson in the vinyl community. Yes, sir. It is almost here, 2 weeks away. Betty says she likes the poster. Thank you very much. And music in the house on the RSD shipments. Does it say on the box, don't sell? It does. I put up a picture yesterday on there on our Facebook page, and it says it's embargoed. We're not embargoed to talk about them. Obviously, we're not allowed to sell them. But yeah, the box says do not display product until record store day. And I'm going to hold true to that. We're not going to display it, but I can talk about that stuff a little bit as well. So, but yeah, they're starting to show up. Our distributors like shipping the stuff out when it accumulates in a decent amount, so we don't get flooded with it on the last week of. And I am very grateful for that as well, especially with a Taylor in the mix. And yeah, we don't. That tends to make things a little bit weird on the day of record store day when we mix in the extra Taylor Swift stuff. So, and I haven't even gotten that yet. So we're just going to take that as it goes, guys. So, all right, some new releases yesterday. It was a big one yesterday. Brand new Mumford and Sons made it to the store. This is called Rushmere. And the copies we've got are the indie exclusives. Limited edition on Bloodshot Red vinyl. Have not given this a listen yet. I need to do so as well. We'll listen online and see if there's if it's warranted for an in-store copy to quality control. But several copies of the new one from Mumford Rushmere in as well. Also, brand new stuff. This one was opened for quality control purposes. Brand new Envy of None. Stygian Waves is the name of this. And I've got a couple copies of the pink vinyl in. There's also a blue one and a bigger box set. This is Alex Lifeson's project, along with, and I forget his name, from Coney Hatch. They got a singer on here as well. A couple of folks helping out. This is good. I do dig this. The first Envy of None was neat. I enjoyed it because of the connection with Rush. This one's good. Steve and I will talk about this a little bit more on the podcast episode coming up tomorrow evening. Yep, hopefully there will be. We had technical difficulties. I even had to look this up. Stygian Waves. All of the pre-press stuff that we'd gotten on this, our distributors spelled it differently. Stigean Waves. The album cover, and even online, they're selling this with a G. Then I get the album cover and it says Stij, Stygian Waves. Stygian with a G. I had to look that up. And one of the definitions, if you can believe what you hear online, referred to it as being of the River Styx, the mythical River Styx. Of course, mentioned in the Rush song by Tor and the Snow Dog as well. So there could be a little connection there with Lifeson working on this. But now I'm a little confused because they spelled it differently than all of the pre-stuff that I'd seen on this with a J. But very cool stuff. Listen to this online if you get a chance. It's dreamy. You can tell Lifeson's guitar is in there, but it's synth-oriented, but it's actually pretty catchy. Again, Steve and I will dig into this a little bit deeper tomorrow. We'll talk about that on the podcast, Two Guys Talking About Records. Also new yesterday, they're calling this the hi-fi, but it's essentially the audiophile version of the Ramones' Road to Ruin, cut on 180-gram vinyl from the original master tapes by Kevin Gray, pressed at Optimal Media, heavyweight gatefold jacket, includes an exclusive insert, limited of 5,000 of these things. This is part of that audiophile series that Rhino's been putting out. They did that with ZZ Top last year. And man, there's a few other ones. They've been putting out some really nice sounding stuff. So this is the latest in that from the Ramones. And you can tell this is heavyweight vinyl. Got a couple copies of that in the store, and I think we may be able to get some more. Interesting compilation. It's called Take 5 Great Jazz Instrumentals. Limited color audiophile, double LP, as I mentioned. You've got stuff on here from Brubeck, Art Blakey, Miles Davis, Vince Guaraldi as well, Cannonball Adderley, Stan Getz, Charlie Bird, Jimmy Smith, Charles Mingus, Wes Montgomery, and John Coltrane. Got a few copies of this, and I got to admit, one of these is probably going to find its way to the open store play category as well, just so I can hear what that's like. Recent releases, but we finally got them. Got a copy of the $1 Million Quartet, Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Johnny Cash, as recorded at Sun Studios in December of 1956. Only one copy of this, and I can probably get more, but we had to wait a week or two for that. Restocked now. Another copy of the Jimmy Page and Black Crowes live at the Greek. Legendary shows, double LP version. There's a 6 LP box set version of this coming out the day before Record Store Day. I've got a few of those on order, some pre-orders, but hopefully we'll get them in time for those of you waiting for it. Speaking of Record Store Day, this is a first last year, and now it's being reissued on black vinyl. 1 copy in the store now, live in Dallas from 1991, Van Halen. Doing a lot of later Van Halen stuff, along with some Sammy Hagar tunes on that as well. It was a popular one when that came out, but now we've got the black vinyl reissue. And then just one final one. They did a reissue of Heart and their self-titled Heart. Nothing too special about this, but I did get a copy of that in and ready to go. All right, let's hit a couple more chat and then get on. Oh, I am late. We are getting on with our day here. A little too much, but let's see where we've got here. Music in the house. Curious to know if stores order huge amounts of small volume regional items. Yes, kind of. Not huge amounts, because that's kind of a red flag when we order those. But we try to get the extra copies of those regionals in because they're usually really good. TKR Quality Control. Got to do it, man. Music in the house. Before there was Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies, there was $1 Million. Yes, there was. Indeed, the original $1 Million quartet. All right, folks, I think that will just about do it for this morning's live update. Don't forget Record Store Day 2025 coming up 2 weeks from today. Make sure you're following us on social media, the Twitters, X, whatever you want to call it, a little bit of Instagram, lots of Facebook, but mostly here on YouTube. Please, again, make sure you're subscribed, enable those notifications, do whatever you got to do to keep in touch with us, and we'll get you all of the info as we get closer to the big day. More locally here at the store right now, today will be open from now until 6 p.m. Saturday open tomorrow, Sunday from 12 noon until 4 p.m. We have to stop and think for a second. Closed on Monday and Tuesday to recoup a little bit, and then back at it. The new release show that usually uploads on Saturdays will not upload today. I could lie and tell you that it's because I'm really busy, although I am. But truth be told, it's just there's not a lot of stuff coming out these next 2 weeks before Record Store. There's a few, and I'll still put the list out there, the physical list of the releases, but I'm not going to be able to get to a video for the new releases today or next Saturday. Hang tough, and I apologize for that, but yeah, we're working on stuff there as well. Don't forget the podcast, Two Guys Talking About Records with our friend Steve Carlson, coming up on Sunday evenings here on the YouTube channel and on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, anywhere you get a podcast. Make sure you check that out. After a week of technical delays, Steve and I are back at it. We're going to finish up the final 4 and give you the final 2 of our album, Most Essential Album Countdown, as voted on by you folks who watch the podcast. All right, that is going to do it for today's live update. You guys have a great one. I'm over time. I can see Kim doing this right now, wrapping it up. We will talk to you next Saturday live here from the Wasteland. Thank you again, folks, for being here. You guys rock. Have a great one.